Welcome back to Mental Models Daily, where we explore one mental model each day to help you elevate your daily decision-making. Today we're examining a powerful concept in social science and complex systems: the Law of Unintended Consequences, which reveals how actions can have unexpected and often counterintuitive effects. The Law of Unintended Consequences is more than just things going wrong. It's a sophisticated framework for understanding how interventions in complex systems can create unexpected ripple effects. Think of it like dropping a stone in a pond. While you can predict the initial splash, the resulting waves interact with the environment in ways that are hard to anticipate. What makes this concept particularly powerful is how it helps us approach problem solving with more humility and systemic thinking. A fascinating historical example comes from Australia's Great Emu War of 1932. When Western Australian farmers faced crop destruction from emus, the government responded by deploying military forces with machine guns to cull the birds. However, this military intervention had unexpected consequences. The emus adapted by breaking into smaller groups and becoming more dispersed, making them harder to target. The media coverage of the unsuccessful campaign turned the emus into sympathetic figures, embarrassed the military, and made the farmers' legitimate concerns seem trivial. Most importantly, the scattered emu populations actually expanded their territory, spreading the agricultural damage to new areas. This became a classic example of how a seemingly straightforward solution can create more complex problems than it solves. In the modern business world, OpenTable provides an illuminating example of managing unintended consequences. When they introduced their online restaurant reservation system, it seemed like a straightforward improvement to manual booking. However, the ease of making reservations led to an unexpected surge in no-shows, since people could book multiple restaurants with no commitment. This created new problems for restaurants, who saw tables remain empty despite being fully booked. The company had to evolve their system to include features like reservation deposits, notification systems, and diner reliability scores to address these unintended behaviours. Even these solutions had their own ripple effects. Some diners felt the deposit system was too rigid, while others worried about their dining reputation being tracked. It's like creating a tool to solve the problem of restaurant bookings, only to discover you've created new challenges around human behaviour and accountability. So, how can we apply unintended consequences thinking in our daily lives? First, practice what I call ripple mapping. Before making significant changes, try to trace potential second and third order effects. This might mean considering how a job change could affect not just your income, but your commute, relationships, and long-term career path. It's like being a chess player who thinks several moves ahead, considering not just the immediate move, but the positions it creates. Second, implement feedback listening. Pay attention to early signals that might indicate unexpected consequences of your actions. This could mean actively seeking input from people affected by your decisions, or creating systems to monitor indirect effects of changes you make. It's like having sensitive seismographs placed around your decisions to detect tremors before they become earthquakes. Third, develop what I call reversibility planning. When possible, design changes that can be undone or adjusted if they create unexpected problems. This means building flexibility and adaptability into your solutions rather than committing to irreversible changes. It's like installing a dimmer switch instead of just an on-off switch. It gives you more control to adjust when things don't work as expected. In conclusion, the law of unintended consequences reminds us that in complex systems, our actions often have effects we can't fully predict. By approaching change with humility and building in mechanisms to detect and respond to unexpected outcomes, we can better manage the complexity of our interventions. In a world of interconnected systems, this mental model helps us make more thoughtful and adaptable decisions. Thank you for joining me today on Mental Models Daily. Until next time, may your changes be thoughtful, your monitoring be thorough, and your adaptability be ready. For more mental models, please visit mentalmodelsdaily.com or find us on X or Instagram. Our podcast music was provided by the Podcast Host and Alitu, the podcast. Find your own free podcast music over at thepodcasthost.com.